Alright guys, so welcome back. This week we're going to be looking at the Shrine of Secrets yet again. So already I can tell you by looking at this is a very killer-sided Shrine of Secrets. This is probably one of the better ones I've seen in the last couple of months. And that being said, because the Shrine resets once every week, pretty important to keep your eye on this kind of thing. Now, straight away, whether you own the DLC or you don't own the DLC, BBQ Chili is a must pick. I strongly recommend getting this perk. This is one of the best perks in the game as a killer. It gives you situational awareness. So when you hook a survivor on a hook, every other player that is not within 40 yards glows bright pink for 4 seconds, revealing their aura, unless they're in a locker or they're using a perk that hides their aura, such as Distortion. Pretty damn good perk. Doubles your blood points if you hook everyone uniquely. There is nothing bad about this perk. This is in my top 5 best and favorite perks. I put it as my 4th favorite perk, only next to Pop Goes the Weasel, Distortion, Make Your Choice, BBQ Chili, and Enduring. Very good. It can work fantastic on people like the Nurse and the Hillbilly, people who can close the gap very fast. Still good on every killer. That being said, because knowledge is power, for example, the Huntress is slow at 110% movement speed. This is going to allow you to know where to rotate quicker and more efficiently using less time. And because she's already slow and she doesn't get prepped like the Hag does, that being said, you need to always be very manageable with your time as a Huntress. So just like Nurse's Calling, BBQ Chili can be a very valuable perk on almost every killer, if not every killer. It can work on every killer. I choose to run it on a few killers. I feel that once you start running it all the time, you'll fall into a habit of relying on seeing people's auras, and it's going to hurt your tracking skills. So it's a great perk. It'll get you good money. It's also a Leatherface perk, so if you don't own the Leatherface DLC, definitely pick this perk up. You cannot go wrong with it. If you do own the Leatherface DLC, well, you'll know that Leatherface comes with 3 great teachable perks, both Knockout at level 30, at level 35, BBQ Chili, and at level 40, Franklin's Demise, which are all very useful in different situations. So we're going to move on to our next perk, and this is Bamboozled. Now, Bamboozled is a clown perk. It is a level 30 perk. It is fantastic. Now, the thing about Bamboozled is it only says 5% here. Bamboozled tier 1, 2, and 3 is 5, 10, and 15% faster window vault. It also seals the window for 8, 12, and then 16 seconds. So if a survivor is really good at utilizing a window, you can vault the window and steal the window. However, be smart, because if I was playing survivor and I knew the killer had Bamboozled, I would run around the corner, block my line of sight where there's a window, and 9 out of 10 killers try and step the window to steal the window, and I just run the opposite direction while they're coming through the window, and I just lose them like that. So just be very smart with it. It can work really well with sealing the window, such as the Hillbilly and somebody comes around for the window, and then you chainsaw them. However, do keep in mind, this makes a sound. It makes a kind of sound when the windows are sealed. Now, because of that kind of thing, you got to be very careful in terms of good survivor will be listening out for this sound cue and know they can utilize elsewhere. They might take an M1 rather than dropping the Shack pallet because of how valuable it is. Fantastic perk. It stacks really well. It's okay on the clown because the clown got a little bit of a soft nerf a little while ago when they buffed medium vaults to give momentum on the other end of the window. Normally the clown could throw a bottle, you get a really bad vault and M1 through the window. He could still do it, but it's less likely to hit. This works really well on a killer named Michael Myers. If you know Michael Myers, in tier 1 he has a 6 meter heartbeat. In tier 2, he has 115% movement speed and a 16 meter heartbeat. The smallest heartbeat for the fastest movement speed in the game without add-ons. You know, obviously you can be 115 with a doc running double calm and monitor and come down 2. But Myers putting on monitor at a 16 meter heartbeat is going to make that an 8 meter heartbeat. But when Myers hits tier 3, his heartbeat increases, and however, he gets the longest lunge in Dead by Daylight. Sorry, guys. He gets the longest lunge in Dead by Daylight. On top of that, he also gets 10% window vault. Yes, this stacks with 10% window vault. So you already have 10% built in. You now have 25%. You will go through a window instantly and M1 the guy. You can go faster if you wanted to. I don't recommend it. You can run Fired Up for a faster window vault. You could even go the Wraith with tremendously add-on to vault windows and break pallets quicker. And you literally become one with the window. You don't even stop in the animation. You just go right through it so fast. Not really effective considering how great it is as per usual. However, if you choose to run Bamboozled, you are running what I refer to as a bit of a gamble perk, much like Ruin. You could get a map like Larry's Institute and Bamboozled doesn't do much. Get a map like The Game where there's lack of windows. However, you could get a map like the Red Forest and be able to steal a really important window, you know, or the Cold Tower and steal a very important window. It is rolling a dice, hoping for good RNG. So if you are running Bamboozled, make sure your other perks, you're not really relying on. Running Bamboozled and Ruin, you're relying on 2 gamble perks. It could work, it could not work. You might have a couple of great games and then one really bad game. So it just comes down to RNG of the map, unless you're playing an Offering 2. It can be a fantastic perk. can allow for incredible mind games and movement speed going through the window faster. You can really catch people off very well, especially double stepping a window. Moving on to the next perk, Boil Over. Look, you can't have everything. By that, I mean we have a decent shrine here. This perk sucks ass. If I'm gonna be honest with you, the best thing looking at this shrine right now is obviously BBQ and Chili and Bamboozled. Life is great too, but we'll get to that in a minute. Boil Over allows you, when the killer picks you up, the hooks that aren't within 10 meters are hidden, so the killer doesn't know where the hooks are. But fun fact, there are hooks everywhere, and the killer's generally going to be able to get you to a hook. It also forces a killer to move left and right in bigger ways with you on the shoulder. It's a really bad perk, because first of all, it's relying on you being caught, obscuring hooks. The only time I see people use Boil Over is if they're savoing hooks, and they're trying to hide, or they're running Unbreakable as well, or they're running, you know, that that perk that allows you to break hooks when you get saved off the hooks from Jeff. It's not a great perk. I'm not going to try and sell you on it. As you can see, I haven't even unlocked it. I'm not going to unlock it because it's really bad and I don't want to poison my blood web. I mean, I'll probably eventually unlock it, but still, there is no real pros with using this perk. But however, like I said, there is always going to be one bad perk. I've never seen the shrine with 4 amazing perks. There's always one, a bit weird one. That's RNG for you. This perk is called Lithe. Now, recently, Lithe received a rework. It has a little, I can't even talk. It has a 60-second cooldown, and then it goes down to 40, much like other exhaustion perks like Dead Hard, Balance Landing, Sprint Burst. But however, the catch here is this used to never activate unless you were in chase, often resulting in an M1 through a window. As of the recent patches, Lithe now does not need to be in chase. You just need to fast vault a window. How do you fast vault? You run at a window pretty much straight on and you will fast vault it. If you can't get the right angle, if you do a little cheeky spin in front of the window, then you can fast vault the window. You just always need to come at it on roughly a straight angle. It is a little bit generous with it. At times, it gives and takes on certain jungle gyms where you shouldn't be able to fast vault. It can work really, really well with Quick and Quiet. For example, if the killer is coming in one direction, and you can fast vault this as the killer comes with Quick and Quiet, and just beeline at 150% movement speed for 3 seconds, even if you have Dance With Me, you can just disappear. It could work really well. The only thing I don't like about it, killer has Bamboozled, now you gotta vault a pallet with it, so you're gonna be wasting a pallet. It can be really rough to use. You can't use it on will. Some areas won't have pallets, some areas won't have windows. It sucks. By Dead Hard's generally Kingpin, but Dead Hard can screw you over. Half the time when you use Lithe, you get hit through a window. That's why I think this exhaustion change is good. I do recommend this perk. I will be picking this perk up myself from the shrine. It can be good, but you're going to kind of want to tailor a build around Lithe. So what I'm talking about is you've got Lithe, Quick and Quiet, so when you go through a window, they don't know. You know, if you can block your line of sight and fast vault a window without him actually seeing you, and then sprint away. With Dance With Me, you leave no scratch marks for 3 seconds when you fast vault. So you literally sprint until you see the haste symbol in the top right-hand corner disappear, and then you crouch behind something and walk away. And 9 out of 10 times, if you've blocked line of sight correctly, the killer has no idea where you are. A smart killer will give you about 8 seconds, can't find you, rotate elsewhere. A bad killer will just look around for you and go, where is he? And then probably DC. We all know what happens. Can recommend it. So I'm talking Dance With Me, Quick and Quiet, Lithe. You could go Urban Evasion, you could go Iron Will, you could go Adrenaline, you could go Borrowed Time. Your final perk doesn't really matter. I personally, if I was running that kind of build, I would be looking at Iron Will. Sound is very important, but that being said, if you get M1 hit on Lyres and you vault a window and leave no scratches, there's still going to be a trail of blood. There might be big splotches, gaps between the big splotches, but it's still trackable by a decent killer. However, if you're on something like the Swamp, it can be a lot harder with thick grass and thick vines and etc. swamp materials coming through the ground. All in all, looking at the shrine right now this week, guys, I can comfortably say BBQ and Chili, you should be picking up. Bamboozled, you should be picking up. Even if you're not a killer main, pick this perk up. It doubles your blood points every time you... Whenever you uniquely hook someone, you get 25% additional blood points at the end. 25%. You hook everyone, that's 100%. You got 30k that game, you now get 60k that game. It allows you to earn a lot of money really fast, so it is very sought after. And if you've been playing DBD for a while, you know a lot of people actually do run BBQ and Chili as it is, because the knowledge is very powerful alongside the money is also very good for the blood points. Bamboozled, though, I would pick this up too, especially if you don't want to buy the Clown DLC. It's one of his good perks. There is one perk better on the Clown that he has, and that is Pop Goes the Weasel. And then there's one perk worse that he has, which is Chlorophobia. But definitely Chat, I would recommend picking up Bamboozled, and maybe Life if you want to play a bit of Survivor too, if you don't plan on leveling up Feng Min. I do plan on leveling up Feng Min, but she's not a high level right now, so I'm probably going to pick that up because I already have Alert unlocked as well. Alright guys, that's going to do for this week on the Shrine. I look forward to seeing you guys.